Well, welcome to the Dollhouse Project number 6 with my co-host, Lucy. This is my puppy, and she's just running away. She is part Yorkie, part Frenchie, and she's 6 months old, and she is full of mischief. She's an adorable little thing, though, so she likes to chew on things that she shouldn't chew on, and, like cords and caps and whatever else hits the floor. She's worse than a toddler. Anyway, back to our dollhouse. So I think I left off spray painting the whole thing, coating it completely, and now that I have it back inside under these lights, I can see shadows, and I thought that I could before, but you can kind of really see them, especially up here. Like around here and here, but I don't think it's going to matter because I'm going to end up wallpapering and changing this. The problem is I had an idea of what I wanted to do with this, but now I'm just like, what am I going to do with this? So at the moment, what I need to do is start ripping out all this paper and plastic that is covering these floors and stuff. So I guess we'll start there. Ooh, tape much? Okay, let's see if we can get this to work. I kind of just sort of unceremoniously threw it all in here. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's stick that right there. And down here. Okay, so along here there was already paint on the floor, so I'm just going to cover it anyway. I'm not even going to worry about it. Oh boy. Okay. Pull up a chair. So that doesn't look too bad, really. Except that we need to pull the tape off the windows. So here's hoping I can get the tape off. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is after tape has been stuck to it. This particular dollhouse is at my other house. As you guys know, my husband, well, if you've watched the other videos, you would know, my husband and I are pastors. So this dollhouse is sitting at the parsonage. Okay, looks like I got a little bit of paint on the glass. No big deal, I'll scrub it off. But this particular dollhouse sits at the parsonage, so I have something to work on when I'm here. But we have our other home, where we actually live, in the town that we actually live in. We make a 60-mile commute, and this is not wanting to come off. Why are you doing this? There we go. Okay. But we make a 60-mile commute one way to come down here on the weekends, and then we drive home, and then of course I work in the town that I live in. Oof, there we go. Oh, it doesn't look so bad. You can see all the junk on the table outside the window. I pretty much turned the dining room table here into a craft table, which, whatever, it works. Nobody actually cares. Oh, doesn't that sound lovely? Okay, come on. I'm failing at this. I'm really sorry. The thing is with this, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with this house. I had an idea that maybe I might just turn the whole thing into a shop or several shops, or like a little diner and a little bakery, or like I don't know, a haberdashery type place. I'm very into the old ideas of the Victorian era, and that's where most of my dolls are based in. I can buy more modern ones, but I really like historical things, and so I was contemplating turning this into just kind of like one of the shops. If you ever saw what malls looked like, or pictures of them when they were first invented, they were just kind of stores that had everything, like department stores. Okay, well, I'm not real sure what just happened, but I think I actually ended the video clip because I had to start over. But anyhow, as I was saying, the old-fashioned department stores, when they first came around, they weren't really a thing. You would go shopping, and of course you'd go to the hat shop or the milliner's for your hat, and you'd go to a haberdashery to get, you know, little items, sewing, fabric, things like that, and then like a general store to get whatever groceries you needed. And grocery stores were relatively a new thing. It was mostly vendors on the street with, like, you know, fruit carts and vegetable carts and the fishmongers and all that. But at some point, someone got the idea to build the first iteration of what used to be a mall, and they started putting some of these things underneath one roof. And I was kind of thinking about maybe doing that a little bit here. And then, of course, coffee shops became all the rage, and then cocoa shops and tea shops, and then eventually they were all rolled together into one. Last window, so I can get it off. And I was kind of thinking about doing something like that with this, but I haven't quite decided. And then usually, inevitably, I'll build a dollhouse, and sometimes I'll get to keep it, and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I just get this feeling of, okay, you need to give this one to so-and-so. So I don't know if it's going to turn into that, but I've had a lot of ideas for this. It looks a lot better. But now I have a blank canvas. This is completely blank. It's all just nothing. So it's a fresh slate to do whatever I want to do to it. I just don't know what that is. I still have the staircase, but I need to redo it because, well, it was a mess, if you remember that. But, and the front of this still looks a mess. I'll just come around the side of it. Welcome to my craft table. Total mess. But I haven't done much with the front facade of it. I did do some painting down the side, but I'm gonna have to paint again because there's a lot of darkness. I'm not real sure what that's all about, but it's been completely scrubbed. And then of course I still wanna do bricking because all this really is just paint. You can see that it's just paint. But anyway, this is where I'm at. If you have ideas, because I'm looking at a blank slate and don't know what to do with it. I have ideas, but yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me on Dollhouse Project number 6. If you have any ideas, throw them in the comment space, and I will see you on the next.